Hi everybody, hope all of you are doing good. In this video I will be reviewing this new Samsung Book 4 Edge. This is a 14-inch version, and I will be discussing design, keyboard, cameras, microphone, port selection on this laptop, speakers. I will be doing some benchmarks. I will be checking the gaming performance of this laptop. I will also show you the video editing performance on this laptop plugged in and on a battery power. Spoiler alert, this laptop is not for everybody, and at the end of the video I will give you my own opinion, and then you can decide if this laptop can be suitable for you or you should avoid this laptop. So let's start with the disclaimer that I have paid from my own pocket for this laptop, so this is not a sponsored review and all the opinions are mine. Samsung doesn't have no input. So as I said, this is a 14-inch version of Book 4 Edge. Book 4 Edge also comes in the 16-inch version, but the reason I went for this 14-inch model is the portability. Now this laptop is extremely well built. When it comes to the color, the only color available is the sapphire blue. There is no other option. When I unboxed this laptop, as you can go and check my previous video, I did not like this color, but over the time, as I've been using this laptop for almost a week, it has grown on to me. And why I'm saying that, the one thing I'm finding really good about this laptop is it is not a fingerprint magnet. So as you can see, I've been touching the laptop and you barely can see any fingerprints. So compared to the other premium notebooks, Razer Blade, MacBook Pros, especially in the darker colors, you have to keep on cleaning those laptops because of the amount of fingerprints they attract. But this laptop, I would say that it's one of the best when it comes to minimizing the fingerprints, and it looks very clean. Now when it comes to the color, when you're in a bright sunlight or in a brighter room, it looks more like a silver. But when you are a bit in more darker area, then it kind of looks more like a bluish silver. When it comes to the size of this laptop, let me just tell you, it is very portable. It's very light. It is only 1160 grams in weight. So that is 1.16 kg, or in pounds it's 2.56 pounds. So when it comes to the dimensions, it is 12.30 inches wide, and in depth it's 8.81 inches, and when it comes to the thickness, it is 0.43 inches thick. Let me tell you in millimeters, it's 10.9 mm thin. So considering this laptop has HDMI 2.1 port, headphone jack, this is a 3.5 mm headphone jack, and it has two USB-Cs which also support USB 4. So these are USB 4 ports, supports fast charging and fast data transfer. So considering these ports, and it has a HDMI 2.1, the portability of this laptop is a next level. And the things that also adds to the portability is the charging brick. It's not a brick, it's really a small charger. So if I compare the charger with my MacBook Pro, so this is a 140 watt charger, this is only a 65 watt charger, but if you see, look at the size of these two things, the Samsung's charger is less than half the size. So, and believe me or not, this perfectly can charge my MacBook Pro as well. So when it comes to the portability, I think this package, let me show you the cable as well. It's not a very nice cable. It looks very cheap. This is the only thing that looks cheap in this whole package is the cable. I would have loved it if it was a slightly longer and a braided cable, but nevertheless, it comes in the box. This package is very portable. So if you can see here, you can see two tiny small holes. These are the mics. It comes with two mics. If you look at the bottom of the laptop, comes with 4 rubber feet for the air intake for your fans. These are 2 speaker grills on either side. We'll check the sound quality a bit later down the video, but I can tell you it comes with 2 4-watt speakers and 2 2.7 watt tweeters. So sound quality, we'll check a bit later on. So when it comes to the hardware, The only specs available in 14-inch version in UK is it comes with a 16 GB of RAM. It comes with 512 GB of storage. It comes with a Bluetooth 5.3, Wi-Fi 7, and the processor in this laptop is a Snapdragon X Elite, and the version of Snapdragon X Elite available in the 14-inch version is 80-100. If you go for the 16-inch model, you can also go for the 84-100 SKU of Snapdragon X Elite. The difference between these two processors is that 84 SKU comes with a slightly higher peak clock speeds on a CPU and slightly beefier GPU. The only thing I'm not really happy about when it comes to the hardware of this laptop, that Samsung is using a flash storage device on this laptop. It's not like your normal NVMe hard drive. They use those NVMe drives on their other laptops like Book 4 Ultra or Book 4 360 Pro, but in this laptop, the Edge series, they are using the flash drive. So that's a kind of a similar drive they use in the smartphones, and it's not upgradable. On those laptops, you can upgrade the hard drive. In this one, you cannot upgrade as far as I know. If somebody knows that you can do it, please do let me know in a comment. So let's open the lid of the laptop, and I can tell you that it passes the one-hand opening test with top marks, even though this is a 14-inch version, but you can easily open the laptop with the one hand. When it comes to the hinge quality, it's not very soft as they have hinges on 360 Pro series, and I think it is better compared to the previous non-360 version of Samsung's laptop. It's not very stiff, it's not very soft, it is just a really balanced experience, and I really like it. So the wobble on the screen is minimum, it's very nice. The screen stiffness is quite good as well. It really feels a top quality product. So before I do the keyboard test, let me tell you the port differences between this 14-inch and the 16-inch version. The 16-inch version comes with an extra USB-A port, plus it does come with a micro SD card slot. So not many professional cameras, they use micro SD cards, but obviously that can be used if you are using action cameras. Most of the action cameras, they use micro SD card slots, and also you can use that card slot to increase the storage. So it's not going to be really fast storage, but nevertheless 16-inch version comes with that. So when it comes to the keyboard, I would say it's not the best keyboard you will ever use, but it's not bad either. The only slight complaint you can have that the key travel is kind of more towards the shallow side, but otherwise the spacing, the size of the keys, even on this 14-inch version, it's really good. This is the backlit keyboard, and you get a single zone white bluish color, more like a white color backlight. So when it comes to the sound, let me just type on and you can hear it by yourself. Now the trackpad on 14-inch version is not as big as you get on the 16-inch version of this laptop, but I prefer this 14-inch version because the trackpad is right in the middle of the keyboard. Because the 16-inch version comes with a number pad on your right hand side, so they push the trackpad more towards the left, so it's not right in the middle of the, you will say, the whole keyboard. I think quality is good. Gestures, they're very smooth, zooming in, zooming out, very nice on this laptop. But one thing that you might complain about, that this is a mechanical trackpad. It's a glass trackpad, but it is mechanical and it's not a haptic trackpad. So the difference between the mechanical and the haptic trackpad is, on a mechanical trackpad, it's more easier to click when you are in the bottom half of the trackpad. More you go higher, it gets difficult to click, and top 30% you cannot click. So that's a problem when it comes to the mechanical trackpads, but you will get used to it. It works flawlessly, and I think this trackpad is the best trackpad that Samsung has used in any of their laptops. I had the Book 3 Ultra, and I much prefer this trackpad compared to that one because it's very smooth. Double tap is quite nice, and you get used to it. Even though if you are used to the MacBook Pro trackpads, they use a haptic trackpad, so you can click anywhere on the trackpad, but this one you will get used to it. And because this is a smaller compared to the 16-inch version, whenever I need to click, I normally use the thumb. It normally sits at the bottom of the trackpad, so it's not an issue. So when it comes to the sound of the trackpad, that's the sound of the trackpad. So I think it's I would not even say it's okay. I think it's a good trackpad. So when it comes to the biometrics, unfortunately the camera on this laptop does not support Windows Hello, but it does come with a fingerprint scanner. So this is the button, it's a power button. It's your fingerprint scanner is embedded in the power button, and it works flawlessly, so no complaints there as well. So you get the Copilot Plus button on the keyboard here, and we'll discuss the Copilot Plus features later on. So when it comes to the screen, I think this is the one of the best screens you will find on any laptop. So this is a touch screen. It has anti-glare coating on it. This is a 3K panel, OLED 3K panel, and the exact resolution on this screen is 2880 by 1800. Now the 16-inch version comes with the same resolution, but because of the smaller screen, the pixel per inch, the density, the pixels are more dense on this 14-inch version compared to the 16-inch version. Very hard to judge unless you really pixel peep, but nevertheless this has a more pixel density compared to the 16-inch version. So it's an OLED screen, very sharp, very vivid, and the blacks are true black on this screen. So the screen does support HDR, and if I'll go into the advanced display settings, you can see it does support 120 Hz. It's a 10-bit panel. The peak brightness is saying 566. That's the HDR brightness. The SDR brightness is roughly around 400 nits on this laptop. So it's not very bright that you can go outside under the direct sunlight and do your work. It's not going to be good for that, but for indoors it's brilliant. No complaints there. Okay, let's quickly do the speaker test. I'm going to run a video from another channel, and you can see how good the speakers are. I'm going to put the mic around here, so volume and everything is on 100%. Let's play the video.
The shade of gray, and the scales can fall back the other way. Better to say nothing than the wrong thing. You don't just say something, there's no strings.
Okay, so as you heard, the speakers, they are decent. Is a decent bass. They're not as loud as MacBook Pros or even the new iPad Pro. So let's check the webcam quality and the microphone quality on this laptop. So this is a camera app. Obviously it comes with AI features, so you can do auto framing. So when you turn it on, it zooms it in, and you can see that thing. Let me just start recording. It also comes with the portrait lighting, so I don't know if it's making any difference or no, but it does come with the portrait lighting, and then eye contact, so, and also background effect, so you can blur the background, and portrait blur, standard blur. Just mind you, the room is completely dark. I've just got a couple of lights right on the top of this thing, and it comes with I'm going to turn off this blur, and it also comes with a creative filter, the watercolor, illustrated, this is the watercolor, and then animated. So these are the few filters. So this is the mic quality, and if you like the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, like the video, share with your friends, and yeah, that's a message that I will just give using the camera on the Book 4 Edge and also using the mics on the Book 4 Edge. So that's it, the quality on the Book 4 Edge. Okay, let's do some performance test. I'm going to run a Geekbench benchmark. First, I'm going to run on a battery power, and then I will run plugged in. Okay, the test has been completed and we got our score. So the single core score is 2655 and the multi-core score is 12416. I would say these are the very good scores. I've seen few reviews in which the Microsoft Surface tablet and also a laptop with the X Elite processor, their scores are very close when on a battery power and when plugged in. But on Samsung, I think there is 15 to 20% difference with the scores when you perform the score on a battery power and when you perform it when plugged in. Samsung is just like slightly conservative when the laptop is on a battery power, but nevertheless you cannot expect these kind of scores in older Windows machines or any of the Intel or AMD processors available at the moment. And if you run the benchmark on a battery power, you cannot expect these scores. Okay, let's run the same benchmark with the laptop plugged in and see how much of the improvement in the scores we get. So I'll see you guys back when the benchmark has been completed. Okay, the benchmark has been completed and there is a bit of improvement in the scores. A single core, we have jumped up to 2759 and in a multi-core, the score is 14505. So it's a bit of improvement. So definitely when the laptop is plugged in, it can improve the performance. I will say 10 to 15%. And I forgot to mention that when I ran benchmarks on a battery power, the laptop was in a high performance mode. So it was in the mode in which you can get the best performance. Yeah, 10 to 15% more performance when plugged in, but much better than the previous Intel and AMD laptops when it comes to the performance on a battery power. Okay, I'm gonna run the GPU benchmark on a Geekbench and we'll see what kind of performance we get. The laptop is plugged in. So we got the score. So this is the score that I got it yesterday and that's the score I got it today. So it's not a huge difference between them. It's only 3% difference. The score is 20360 and 19933. It's not amazing, but considering that it is a very thin device and a portable device, the score is not bad. Let's run the same test. This time I'm gonna unplug the laptop and let's run the same test. I can just show you guys the battery at the moment is 47%. So let's run the Geekbench GPU. Okay, we got the scores and as you can see it has even given us a better score while on a battery. So it wasn't plugged in and you can see is 20,360 and the difference, this is the score I got yesterday, 20,220 and 0.7% difference. So this was the test I did it plugged in yesterday. So you can see when it comes to the graphical performance, either whether it's plugged in or not plugged in, it doesn't really matter. But for the CPU, it does matter. When it's plugged in, the system gets slightly more performance. So we ran quite a few benchmarks so I can check the temperatures as you cannot hear the fans. It is in a performance mode. Let's try to do some gaming on a battery power. Let me tell you one thing first, there will be many games which will not be compatible with the ARM processor. I think as time goes, more and more developers, they will come up with the games which will be compatible with the ARM. But at the moment, most of the games which use anti-cheat software, they will not be compatible with this laptop and they will not play on any of the ARM based laptop. So just turn the volume down a bit. Let me quickly show you guys settings because I did do a bit of testing yesterday and So you can see it is 2880 by 1800, and it's in not the best looking but the fastest. And let's play the game. I'm just gonna quickly do the bot test. Let's quickly go. You can see the frames per second right in the corner. So at the moment we are getting 4954 frames, 66 frames. So as you can see, this is unplugged, so I'm getting roughly 45, 51, but I'm pretty sure when the screen will get more crowded, it will lose this frame rate. Obviously not very playable when it comes to the multiplayer online games. The frames they drop when they are when the screen is a bit more crowded. At the moment it's 36, 37, 38. So it's for these type of games, it's not obviously the best frame. You really want to get over 100, a minimum over 100 frames. But as you can see, it is more crowded. Now it started dropping into 30s, 39, 32. I'm just going to quickly run the same game in 1080p, and I will plug it in as well and see if that improves the performance. So as you can see, 1080p, 120 hertz, fast, best looking, kind of in the medium, you can say. 71 frames, 74, 82. Let's see when it gets crowded how many frames it drops. It is keeping the frame around in 70s. Came into 50s, 60s. Let me just plug it in and see if that improves the performance. So plugged it in. 62, I would say double the performance what we were getting in 3K. Whenever there is an animation or something like that, then it drops the frame. Yeah, for these type of games, any online multiplayer games, fast shooting games and stuff, it's not the laptop to go for. Let's try Baldur's Gate. Let me just quickly show you the settings. So video setting 1080p. I'm using FSR 2.2 at balance. The quality is in medium. The laptop is plugged in. The problem is I've already got the game saved at the lower city, where it's gonna be slightly, I would say, the Act 3 is the most demanding one, and you normally lose quite a lot of frames even on high-end laptops compared to when you are in Act 1 and Act 2. So whatever you will get in Act 3, I'm going to show you. If you're in Act 1 or Act 2, expect roughly 15 to 20% more frames compared to this Act 3. Okay, I'm getting around 25, 32, 35 frames. Let me just come out of it. As you can see, mid 20s to 30 frames. Now it's dropped to 20. As I said, this Act is the most demanding one. So if you see that, yeah, roughly it's jumping between 25 and 30 kind of frames. Let's talk to any of my party members and see how many frames get there. So in cutscenes, 22, 33 now, 32. And keep in mind, I've been running quite a few benchmarks, and we ran a previous game on it as well. So yeah, the laptop is slightly warm, yeah, but not really hot, and I can hear the fans now. What I'll do, I'll just drop FSR 2, go to performance, quality bring to low, and FSR 2 to performance. So now the performance, you can see it has jumped up to 39, 40 frames. But as soon as the players started coming into the screen, 34, 35, I'll say mid 30s, you'll get it FSR 2.2 in performance mode, the quality are low. So you can see it's not very sharp, but that's what you'll get. Let me just unplug it and see if we lose any performance. So the frame rate is kind of same, mid 30s. Now in a cutscene, 40s, 41, 42. So I would say when it comes to the performance in Baldur's Gate 3, it depends where you are in the game. If you are in Act 3 with the FSR at 2.2, low settings in 1080p, expect 30-32 frames on average overall. You will get some lows as well in early 20s, obviously when you're in a fight and there are more animations happening on the screen, but on average you will get 30-31 frames. From my own experience playing this game and on other laptops, if you're going to be having the same settings in Act 1 and Act 2, you will get mid-40s frames in Act 1 and Act 2. So I hope in near future more games will come which will be optimized for the ARM chips and will get a bit better performance. But it's still kind of a thing that you can play these type of games and some older titles on a battery power alone. Casual gaming, it's fine. You can do it even on a battery power. The way the battery has been, let me just come out of this and see how much battery we have lost. It was 41% when I started this game. I would say 15 minutes I've lost 3% of the battery is 38%. So you can do 3 to 4 hours of gaming on a battery power in a high performance mode on this particular laptop. If you're playing like older games in which the CPU or GPU are drawing less than 35 watts of power, then your gaming session can be extended up to 5 to 6 hours, which I think is quite decent. And I think you will soon, if there will be more games supported for the ARM chips, you will soon see these chips in handheld gaming consoles like Steam Deck or Asus ROG Ally. Because of the heat management of these chips, they don't get really hot, and you don't really need a very beefy cooling system to cool these things down, and they draw less power compared to the Intel or AMD. But again, if you are in AAA games or multiplayer online competitive games, this is not the laptop, or this is not the chip to go for, even in any other laptop as well. So let's do the video editing test. I've got my SSD plugged in. So if you go and look for the DaVinci Resolve, DaVinci Resolve public beta, so the ARM support is only available regardless you go for the studio version or the free version. Is available in the 19 beta. So if you look at the 18, there is no Windows ARM chip supports. So I've got the studio version. Let me just close all these website to clear the RAM. Okay, let me start the new project. I'm gonna import media. Okay, these are the raw files. So let me just click on anyone. So as you can see that these are CRM files. These are Canon raw files. So you can see here that this is an 8K file, 60 frames, 59.9 frames per second. It's been recorded. Let's play and see how does it play. So as you can see, it's playing in 24 frames per second. It's dropping frames here and there, but keep in mind that this is the 8K file and it is playing this on a battery power. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna quickly pause this, go in color space. Let's apply LUT on this one. Straight away you can see it's without a delay LUT has been applied. So come back into thing and let's play it. The slight delay, it started playing it. So it's stuttery, but we are doing it on a battery power. It's playing in 15 frames per second. So for the 8K, I don't think so. When you'll put few titles, transitions and few effects, it's not gonna be very smooth. Let's open the new project. I'm gonna bring media in. So these are Canon's 4K files. So if we go and see, so these are DCI 4K files, again in 60 frames per second. So I'll bring this one down. Let's play it. Now this is playing smoothly. So 4K footage is playing in exact 24 frames, which I've selected for the project. It's playing very smoothly. So let's quickly apply a LUT. It's been applied. Come back. Played. You can see it's playing completely smoothly. So 4K on a battery power is completely doable. Let me just quickly drop a couple of There you go, title. I dropped it and it's there. So no stutter at all. Let me just drop slightly bigger one. I just dropped it, and there you go. So no problem at all. I'm gonna drop a video transition. Where is it gone? I'm just gonna drop it there. There you go. So it's very smooth. So when it comes to the 4K video editing on a battery power, I think this machine can do it. These files are from Canon R5C. These are H.265 files. I would say that's the result has been brilliant, that the way it's doing it and the way I've dropped a couple of titles, transition without a problem, and straight away it's not even rendering it, and straight away you can see the transitions are there. My conclusion at the end: if you want this laptop to do gaming, don't buy it. It's not a gaming laptop. But if you're a casual gamer, don't play AAA games, you play older games, and most likely if you play games which are ARM compatible, you can buy it. But for professional gamers, this is not the laptop. Very portable, very good screen, decent speaker, good keyboard, good trackpad, build quality is excellent. Battery life, I would say I ran a test 40% brightness. Color profile chosen was Samsung Vivid AMOLED color profile. Played a HDR video in a loop for 8.5 hours on a Wi-Fi, and the battery left was 5%. So I would say 9 hours of playback on a 40% brightness in a balance mode gave me 8 to 9 hours of battery life. If you're gonna be playing video which are downloaded on a hard drive, you're not using a Wi-Fi, turn off your Bluetooth, turn off your Wi-Fi and play the video, you will easily get between 10 and 11 hours on this laptop. So this one, the battery capacity is 55.9 watts. Compared to the 16-inch version, which has a 61 watt battery. So if you use your laptop for basic things, emails, watching YouTube videos, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, this laptop will not disappoint you. When it comes to the video editing, you can do 4K video editing on the go on a battery power. I would say it will give you 4 to 5 hours of battery life if you are doing 4K video editing with not a lot of effects, not a lot of tracking, not a lot of transitions and stuff. I would say it can give you 4 to 5 hours of battery life on the go while doing the video editing. When it comes to the 8K video editing, this is not the laptop to do the 8K video editing. It does stutter. You may be able to do the basic things, convert it from 8K to 4K video, render it out. It's going to take a bit of time, but for the 4K 1080p, brilliant. You can do it. Anything you can do it. Considering the size of this laptop and the portability, weight, I think it's amazing. When it comes to gaming, don't buy this laptop if you're going to play AAA games. First, the screen is only 120 Hz. The second, most of the games which use anti-cheat will not be compatible with this one. Most AAA games will not play in a higher setting, not even in the medium settings. Forget the 4K, 1080p, low settings. So, and what's the point of playing those games when you cannot enjoy the graphics? That's my point of view. So don't buy the laptop for that. Casual gaming, on the go gaming, if you're playing the older titles, World of Warcraft, which is compatible to ARM, I think for those kind of titles it will be fine. But the main thing is this is a workhorse when it comes to a portable machine. So when it comes to the photo editing thing, I was reading that Adobe will soon be coming up with the ARM compatible Photoshop version. So that will be available. When it comes to the Copilot and stuff, you can do few things. I'll draw something and say bird. Yeah, this is my version of the bird. So you can just come here, write it down, bird in the sky. In the sky, and it will generate it for you. It does. So this is the bird in the sky. So if I'll increase the creativity here, then it will generate it a bit more better. So you can see the sky. When the creativity is low, it may not follow all the instructions, but it did judge that the wings are out, so the bird is obviously, and I typed in, as I didn't type in flying, I said bird in the sky, but it saw the wings are out, so that's the version of the bird. If I click it once, it may give me another option. See, it's changing the bird a little bit, and if I change it here, it will say, suppose, green bird in the sky. There you go. So it has changed it to green. So I can just bring this one in here. So that's what it is. So it's free. You don't need any tokens, nothing like that. There is another image creator option there. They give you 50 tokens, and then obviously you can buy or whatever you want to do. Other than that, you press this Copilot button and your Copilot window comes up. You can ask anything, whatever you ask in Chat GPT and stuff, and it will give you the appropriate answer. Yeah, it does kind of communicate. If you link your phone with it and ask it to send a message to somebody politely that you want these few things to be done, and it will actually write the proper message and write in a polite manner, rather than just like typing do this, and at the end will say politely. No, it will actually send the message in a polite manner. For me, the main thing is the battery life and the screen. These are the two main things which are very important, and I do a lot of video editing. So for me, even though I don't use DaVinci Resolve, but I think only because of this laptop I would switch from Final Cut Pro to DaVinci Resolve, because then I can, because I have MacBook 16 and that's kind of a pretty heavy thing to lug around all day. If I'll manage to learn it DaVinci Resolve quickly, then this might be my video editing machine on the go. So whatever the apps and everything else you're using which are not ARM compatible, they have to go through the emulator. Intel is calling it the Prism, and then your machine has to use 15 to 20% extra battery, extra power, because obviously it's been emulated. It's not the native app. So these are things that you need to keep in mind. And at the end, if you've liked the video, please like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Any comments, the things, if I've missed anything or if I'm wrong at anything, please do let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll read every comment, and I would love to hear from you guys what you guys think. So my thing is, I will be keeping this laptop and I'm pretty happy with it. It's, for me, the main thing is portability, screen, battery life, and the things I can do on Windows machine when it's not plugged in. This thing, even though it looks very slim and tiny and small, but it has a lot of power when it comes to the CPU tasks. Yeah, GPU not as good as the other machines, but yeah, that's what it is. So that's it for today. Take care. Bye bye.